in here then? Did she request to be in my live? Yes, she did. Let's add her in. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, not too bad. Just getting through, so.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just finishing dinner. I did a video about you guys earlier today. So, what did you
You
think
saw
about?
what?
I said I did a video about her YouTube video. What did you think about her video?
I didn't get to watch that yet, but about her video, what I think about it, it's pretty much like any other video she makes, when we break up. Like I said, I feel like I need to make a video, so watch out for that soon, because a lot of the things that she said in there were very false. And for one of the things would be that I won't let her and the kids come into their own house, and that she had to have the police come over just to come in her own house. None of that.
Yeah, and she made a comment about how she was afraid that something physical could happen.
Yeah, no, that's because I got a restraining order on her grandfather. She had came over. I literally have to lock the bedroom because I don't want like them to come in and like do like her grandpa has choked me out. Like I don't want him coming into the house and like trying to like do something to me. So I had the bedroom door locked. They came in the house, pounded on the door. I opened the door. She started grabbing some of her stuff. Her grandpa's like, "You're a piece of crap. You're worthless. You're going to be out of this house one way or another," like up in my face. He's like, "I'll choke, like I'll drop you again." He didn't say choke, he said, "I'll drop you again." And I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this crap. So she had actually left her keys at the house. And I was like, oh, well, she left her keys here at the counter to get in the house. So I was like, let's go now, file this restraining order. I'm not going to touch her keys. She won't be able to get in the house. I won't have to worry about it. I'm not keeping her from coming in the house. She left her keys. As soon as we get to leave, she was spying on me outside the door, standing outside the door. As soon as I opened the door, she was right there. And she's like, "I need my keys." And heard me on the phone with my lawyer saying, "I'm going to get a restraining order against Tim, blah, blah, blah." As soon as we go outside, her grandpa's out there yelling at me across the street. And I was like, "It's all right, Tim." I said, "I'm getting a restraining order against me. You won't be able to come near me. I'm tired of your verbal abuse towards me." And then her mom said that he was planning on moving into the house when he's just a co-signer on the house. He's not a tenant, so he can't live there.
Her
So
grandfather?
basically, huh?
Her grandfather?
Yeah. He was going to basically move in there and verbally assault me till I left. Like pretty much
Into
just
your...
live there. What'd you say? You're cutting out.
Hello?
Hello? I'm still here.
Oh, that's okay. So he was going to move into where you're staying right now. Aren't you right across the street from them?
Yeah, he was going to move in there and basically verbally assault me and live there and kind of like pressure me out of the house because he knows I'm not comfortable around him.
He was
That's what he
arrested
was gonna do.
in 2018, right? For doing
Yep.
that to her brother, right?
Yep. And then recently after that, the whole story with him doing it to me was she was dating that new Josh guy right after she left.
Yeah.
And we were living out in Beloit at that house, and I ended up staying there, paying the bills for a while. And she wanted some of her stuff back. I had like 6-7 boxes of her stuff. I showed up to bring them back to her and asked if I could see the kids. She's like, "Yeah, that's fine." I was taking in the last box. Her grandpa was like, "You got to leave." I was like, "She said I'm allowed to see my kids. I haven't seen them in months. I'm seeing them." Started walking to the kitchen. He grabbed me by the back of my hoodie, yanked me back, said, "The hell you are. This is my house." Her grandma was there. Her grandma's usually on my side with everything, Cindy. And she was going off at him. And then I was sitting in there in the kitchen. My son wasn't even in a booster chair, nothing, was just sitting on a chair on his tablet. And he choked me out, almost knocked my son off, threw me up against the wall. I flipped him around and was like trying to defend myself, holding him there. They had a big pit bull. They've had him for years. He just passed away last year. And he was having his dog attack me because he like protected the house. He was like trying to attack anybody who came in the house. He was just like a protective dog. And he was biting my leg, ripping my leg, like my clothes on my leg, my pants, and was hanging from my arm like up here. I was trying to get him off. He wouldn't get off. And then when I went to leave, I like cussed him out. And that's when McKayla came downstairs because I was like, "If you ever put your hands on anybody again, like it's not going to go good for you. And I was just going off because at that point I was upset and hurt. Like, they're letting her dog attack me. He's choking me out in front of my son.
Why is he's like in his late 60s, isn't he?
Yeah,
Why
something like that.
Why is a grown adult attacking another?
Because the whole abuse thing, the whole alcohol, you know, everything
Is
like
he an
that.
alcoholic?
I don't want to say, I don't know really what to say. I mean, everybody knows that there's already been articles out there on Sarcasm, everything. Her grandparents are hardcore alcoholics, and her grandpa, I think what would it be, liver or kidney that you'd have to replace? Liver, right?
Cirrhosis of the liver, yeah.
Yes, he got that from drinking and almost died from it almost. And he had that taken away, and ever since he's been an even bigger dick. He's like a dry alcoholic.
Because he can't drink anymore.
Yep. And then the grandma still drinks every day, so he's basically around seeing her probably do it every day, and it affects him and pisses him off or makes him feel a certain type of way. I mean, there's so much that people don't know that I could talk about to an extent that people would go, wow, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
So they basically took custody of McKayla and recreated her mother, it sounds like.
Well, this is what I think is, they took over custody of McKayla and her brother when they were younger, and they pretty much raised her whole life. Her mom tried to get them back because her mom was on stuff. You know, her mom was in a good place.
Yeah, she said she was addicted to opiates or something.
She just tried to call me and says she wants to talk about the lease now.
Oh, McKayla does?
Yeah, she just cut me out and said, I'm calling to talk about the lease, try to call me, and I ended it because now I'm on live talking facts about life, and now she wants to talk about the lease all of a sudden. So
I was confused by a couple things in her live or in her YouTube video because she said, one, that you're controlling, which I've never seen that in any of the I've been watching this and covering it for a while. And then she said that, like, you were allowed to see the kids, but then, and that she doesn't hold the kids against you. But then when you guys got back together this past fall, she literally has a YouTube video where she admits that she held the kids against you out of spite.
Yeah. Yep. That's what she did.
Did she try to convince you to case?
Sorry about that.
Did she try?
Pretty much.
That's okay.
So anyway, pretty much what happened was the whole controlling thing. What I feel like, she thinks I'm controlling. When she was dating Josh, if anybody remembers, she was dating Josh when she broke up with me recently, the guy that she was dating. When she got back with me, she told me that he was like mean, controlling, everything like that. And on top of that, her whole life she's been controlled by her grandparents. They track every single place she's at, constantly text her, you know, threaten her if you don't get her. Like they stalk the hell out of her. So when she asked me to go places when we were recently together, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead. Or if she'd asked to go do something with a friend, like one time she asked to do something with a friend at like 8 o'clock at night, like suddenly, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm like, no, you're not going to go. Like, the kids need sleep. Like, if you were to let me know ahead of time, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's 8 o'clock at night. If you're going to go out with your friends at 8 o'clock at night and suddenly bring it up, how's that going to work for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But every time she'd want to do something, I'd be like, yeah, sure, go ahead. But that's what I feel like is that the other guys she was with or with her grandparents, how they treated her, she feels that I'm controlling to her, and I'm not. I'm not at all.
She's projecting that onto you.
Exactly. 100%. And then this whole day.
What about like that? She, on her video, she said that you have not called since Friday.
I have called. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm going to make the YouTube video. I have all the text messages of me trying to contact her to see the kids, and she goes, once you move out of the house. And then there's a text where she says, you're not seeing your kids till we go to court, or you know what I'm saying? It's all lies that she's lying about. And that's why she's blowing my phone up right now, because she knows that once I put that out there, nobody's going to believe a word she says, and she's done it.
Funny is she would call you when I'm on with you, because she probably knows that I'm
Yep.
a video. I've never talked to her.
Hmm.
I've sent her messages, but her video today that she put up last night, I was just like, this doesn't even make sense. And
No.
in previous videos, she's talked about having things other than PTSD.
Hmm.
So, I mean, obviously, if she has mental health issues, you want her to get help, but she can't get
Yeah.
help. She can't get
Yeah.
help.
Her grandparents don't think that she needs help. Like, she was just put on the medical marijuana. We put a video out of it. Everyone knows that. Her grandparents, to this day, when I talk to her grandparents about things that she does, things that she goes on spending sprees, constantly buying random things. You know what I mean? That's all signs of, like, the whole dyeing your hair thing. She was just brown to bleaching it blonde
She
to
has
dyeing
dyed
it
her
purple
hair like
to
5 times.
dyeing it brown. And then
Yeah.
what was it? Yesterday she put a video up, blonde or brown, like she's about to dye it again. Like, that's how you know. Like, that's how you know something's wrong.
Like, is she having
Nobody.
panic attacks?
And in her, I'm
In
sure
her,
you've watched. I'm sure you've watched her other YouTube videos, like especially ones with me in it. You
yeah.
can see how she acts, how she's talking. And freaking live cut out. Hello, 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 hello.
Yeah, Instagram is weird. After an hour, it's like
Yeah,
done.
yeah, it cuts out. Yep,
So she's dyeing her hair a lot. Like, she's spending a lot of money.
yep.
I mean, she does a video about all the tattoos she got,
Hmm.
the lip injections,
Yeah.
which is fine. Hey,
Hmm.
go get it. But
Yeah.
what I thought was funny is she was mad at you when you guys were together that one time about having a job and you were never home, and now this time you don't.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't understand how people don't see this. Like, just watch the videos. Like, just watch everything. I couldn't have a job. She broke up with me because of that. I worked so much because I had a really good job. I was working literally every day, Monday through Sunday. I was working every day. I paid all the bills, just like she has too before. I paid all of the bills. I didn't sit here and go, I didn't sit here and say when I'm paying all the bills, I paid all these bills. I did this. McKayla sat on her ass with the kids and did nothing. Like, I never said none of that. That's me as a father trying to take care of my family. And then it was such a big deal that she left me and said, you don't spend any time with me anymore. You work too much.
Yeah, she said that. And then yesterday's video, she's like, he said he doesn't want to get a job and I should support him.
Yeah. So, no. I never said I didn't want to get a job ever. I have a job. I've been working for the railroad. It's called layoff. It's called wintertime. You don't work for literally just the wintertime. She's been paying some bills. I've been working part-time through wintertime. Every single second of the check that I've got, every single little sliver of it has gone straight into her bank account. So, and I have screenshots of every single bit of my money going into her account too.
So her assertion that she paid everything isn't true.
She has paid a lot of stuff, yeah, and I've said that she has. Like, I've been laid off. I haven't worked for the wintertime that much. I've worked a few days. I probably worked like 8 or 9 days this winter. That's it. But I work for the railroad. It's good money. I'm making like $400 just in one day of work. So
when you are working, you make good money.
yeah, I make. And then she's like, well, you're laid off. You need to get another job. Well, when we do YouTube videos and I'm in the YouTube video and she's in the YouTube video, we came to an agreement that that would be both of our incomes because we're both making the video together. That's both our incomes. So for that time in wintertime that I was in all those videos and YouTube videos that she was making, that was part of my income too. And she's making a couple $1,000s off that. So off YouTube.
A month or a month?
Yeah, yeah. So.
And she's so up and down. She's like, one day she's this way, the next way she's that way. Yep. And she said, well, I've been so unhappy for such a long time.
Yeah, she says that. That's what she said when she got back with me. She's like, I've been in a depressed state. I never even loved Josh. I was trying to do it just to please my grandparents. I thought about you every second of the day. I haven't been happy without you. It's crazy how you realize who your person is. And I was like, I've always realized that you're my person. Like, that's why I've always been here. And then she said, like, 4 days before we break up, she wanted to marry me, wanted to be with me. She was like, hey, if we don't do the DNA testing that has to be done, if we get married, you'll get your full rights to the kids then. And if we split up, we'll deal with it then. And I was like, okay, I believe you. And I never dropped the court case for a second. I told her I wasn't going to drop it. And
Yeah,
that
I'm
made her
glad.
go, that made her go crazy too. Cause I think, yeah.
When you guys got back together, and this is just my opinion, part of me wondered if she was doing it because you had brought up that case.
Yeah.
And that maybe she was trying to get back with you so that you would drop the case.
Well, this is what people don't understand. So, oh my God. So I live in a duplex. It's like a duplex. It's a split house. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My, neighbor just texted me and said, hey, you able to come and lock the front door? Because she must have been there today. Locked the front door. She's the only one who has the key to it. She locked the front door, locked me out. So when I go down there, I'm not going to be able to get in, and he now can't get into the house.
You can't get into your own house?
Okay, so there was one key that was made for the front door.
Yeah.
Okay, because you walk in a front door, and then our neighbor will go straight up the steps.
Yeah.
That's his part. He lives in the top, and we go right to the right into our bottom living area.
Yeah.
There was one key for that door, and it's locked right now, which means that she must have went over there because I was there last night and took a whole bunch of stuff, more of my stuff, I'm sure. Who knows? And he just texted me and said, are you able to unlock the door? And then also she turned the electric off, if you've been listening. He's been freezing in that house too, our own neighbor. So, because our furnace is connected to his apparently, and when the electric's turned off in our unit, like the furnace is split into two bills, but when our unit's electric is off, he doesn't get any heat. His furnace won't work. So yeah.
You aren't even, are you staying at your mom's?
I'm currently at my mom's right now, yeah.
How's she, like, what's she say?
See, that's the thing. My family really doesn't get into it. I mean, they do, but they just know how it is. That's just how it usually is when we break up. It's more of like me and my family are kind of on the chill side. Like I might throw one thing out there, like I did that live I went too crazy with. And, I'll have a reaction. It's called feelings. But usually
to be honest, I think a lot of people were really happy that you were speaking out because
yeah.
you haven't said
Mm-hmm.
anything on social media, and she has used her sort of platform to make people
annihilate me.
Yeah, to make people feel a type of way about you, and I don't think that's very fair. Her platform is like 4 times bigger than yours.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep, I saw you had said that in your videos too. I agreed with that. That's what she does, and that's what she'll continue to do. And then this whole morning, I've been trying to get a hold of her because the landlord called me and was like, you guys need to figure it out. If you don't figure it out, I'll be taking all of you to court, because she thinks she's doing this the easy way. She's doing it the harder way for both of us.
Is your lease like month to month, or is it
it's a year lease.
A year lease.
Yeah. So
what happens when you guys break these leases? I mean,
that's what I say. I feel like he's just trying to get whoever wants to live there. But as far as I know, if she took all of her stuff and walked out on the lease, she should be evicted or taken off the lease automatically. And to my knowledge,
he'd have to go to court to evict you guys.
Yeah, but they're trying to say that if I leave, I'll sign a release form and that'll be it. And at the beginning, they were saying, I'll buy out of the lease. I'll buy out of the lease. And if she were to buy out of the lease, then I would just stay there and pay utilities.
But how would she even, like, she was talking about how she wanted to go back to that place. How on earth would she manage to take care of those kids by herself?
She wouldn't, and that's the thing. Like, when I wouldn't wake up in the morning to watch the kids, she would be like, all right, then I'm going to my grandparents. And she would get up, pissed off as fuck, start slamming shit, like grabbing stuff, like going crazy. And then I just get up all pissed off and I go out to the living room. And that's like me staying up for a week or 2 weeks straight every morning, getting up with the kids and letting her sleep in. And the one day that I'm like, I'm too tired, I can't do it, she's like, I'm taking her to my grandparents. And she'd get up, run over to the grandparents, come back home and lay in bed and sleep. And then, like, there's days she'd throw the kids over there. We would fight about it all the time because her grandparents think that I don't do anything or I don't help. They're like, Caelen doesn't help or do shit. That's why they're always over here all the time. And then she'd be like, And then she said so many lies to him, she'd be like, yeah, he does. Or she'd at least tell me that she's saying that. And they'd be like, bullshit, I don't believe it. And she'd send the kids over there and be like, oh, I got to do laundry, I got to do dishes. And she'd just sit there on her phone. And they'd be like, when are you coming? And she'd be like, I'm almost done with the laundry. And then they'd bring the kids over, slam the door after they dropped them off, pissed off because she just would make them watch them all day. And I can't walk over and go in their house. I can't walk over there and grab my own kids. I can't walk over there and knock on the door or nothing, or else it's going to be police are coming, we're filing this on you, we're filing that on you. The whole family will lie against you, lie against me. Like, that's what they'll do. So.
God, I'm so sorry.
Craziness.
I know, it sounds crazy. I'm glad that you have your mom, by the way. My subscribers freaking love Shelly so much. They're humongous.
Yeah, she's real. She gets really real. She doesn't care how you feel, you know what I mean? She just says it and doesn't even think a thought about it. She'll say whatever comes to mind, which sometimes affects me.
We always say on our channel, she's broken, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. It's like sometimes my family does get in the way sometimes. Like, they'll say some things they shouldn't be saying, and then her family will say it, too. Our families clash at each other. They have all the time. They constantly clash at each other all the time.
Well, I don't know that. I mean, it's that her grandparents are enabling her.
Yeah.
And your mom is like, F that. We're not going to enable this.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, like, there was, like, when we first got back together, this is how we got back together, okay? She texts me and says, hey, I want to talk to you. And I said, why? What's going on? She says, I'll be up soon. She's walking up the street because my mom lives up the street. She lives on 7th Street. We live on 6th Street. She lives up down the street. Her grandparents do.
Yeah.
So she comes walking up the street with the kids in a stroller, both of them in the same stroller, pushing the stroller up the road, like, out of breath. I'm like, what in the hell's going on? She's like, my grandpa just kicked me out. Doesn't want me to live here anymore. I can't live here anymore, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, her grandpa comes driving up the road, cussing at McKayla, saying, you're worthless. You want to go back to him? You're a fucking idiot. Caelen's a piece of shit. F all you. And I was like, you need to go. And he just floored it out of the way. And she was here for probably about a week, staying here with the kids. And then I was like, I'll give you a month. I was like, let's see how it goes. I was like, if you really think that this is what you want, you know, she explained a lot more than that I can't remember at the top of my head, everything, you know. But we talked about it, and then we ended up getting back together. And then she was like, I'm getting this place. Either you're coming to live with me or not, because it wasn't my idea for us to move right back into together, because I knew that it wasn't the best thing for us. But
so she got kicked out of her place and basically ran to you. Yeah,
she ran up here to me. And then was like, was still, and then
further proves that McKayla can literally not take care of herself.
Yeah, and she was still with Josh. And I think I put that out online. I don't even remember what I did, but she was texting me basically saying a whole bunch of tensional things. You know what I mean? Like rising the tension between us.
Yeah.
While still with Josh, and I confronted Josh about it and was like, dude, she's telling me she wants to do all this and do all this, and he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then me and him started talking, got into it. She got into it. And then she left me again. And then a couple days later was when she started walking up the street. So, yeah.
So she's just like, well, it's kind of like how you posted her stuff on Instagram last week of her talking to other guys. It's like she's trying to line someone else up.
Exactly, to fill that void of me, to fill me in. And she'll let that random person come move in that home, live with my kids, and not give a shit. But if I were to have some random chick come over and stay in the house, or if I were to have some random chick around the kids, she would flip and make the biggest scene about it. But the second she does it, it's okay. I mean, 4th of July, she was with a new guy. Didn't let me see my kids. Timmy's first birthday, didn't let me see my kids. Had to make my own birthday. And eventually
you know what I noticed? She always does things on holidays that might take the spotlight from her, and she causes drama.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I was saying.
Grace, I feel like that's a characteristic of something. I think it's like narcissism or
something. I don't know.
Like, you said she has a personality disorder.
Well, this is what was all said and done. She went to counseling. I have a paper, and I'm not going to show it or read it. If you want to message me, we can talk.
Okay.
But she was diagnosed with a couple different things from a different counseling center before we were back together. And for some reason, she had her mail sent here. So I opened it up and read it, and I saw all the stuff that she said. We talked about it, and she was like, yeah, I'm about to be seeing a new counselor. So when she started going to counseling, I started attending, and she would talk about all these things that are going on. They would prescribe her these medicines, and then she would my aunt just texted me and said that the gas company is at our house, so I'm sure the gas is getting turned off right now. Or
Unbelievable.
yeah. And freak, I just totally forgot what I was saying. What was I saying?
That she was prescribed medicine. Because
Yeah.
honestly, like, and I'm just saying this from my own personal experience because I have had PTSD and anxiety and stuff. And sometimes the worst thing that you can do when you have that stuff is smoke weed.
What?
Stop for 1 second. Come here, please.
All right. What? I'm not even saying anything I'm not allowed to say. It's all stuff she's already said on YouTube. We're only talking facts. She's already said that. Okay, then I won't talk about it. That's fine.
Yeah, just don't talk about that.
Okay. And who is that falsification of my lawyer saying this is your lawyer?
It's not your lawyer.
I know, and everyone's like, your lawyer's on live, you need to get off. I'm like, this is not my lawyer. If my lawyer wanted me off a live session, he'd call me or text me right now.
So when do you guys go back to court?
I'll have to grab the paper to know the exact date because my mind's mixed matched now with the restraining order date because they're so close
When
together.
you got a restraining order?
I did against him.
Against him?
Yeah. I went and got one recently because I was telling you how he came in the house and was verbally assaulting me.
Yeah.
I went and got a restraining order so he's not allowed in the house because he was going to move in there and assault me until I left. So I went and got a restraining order. He's not allowed.
So they awarded you a temporary restraining order?
Yeah. So.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, I have that, and then we obviously have a court date because he's going to go and explain his situation and things. But anyway, I won't talk about. Apparently, medications can't talk about.
Oh, I don't. Medications doesn't. That's not important.
You know who this is, right?
Yeah, I do.
He loves you.
Hi, Shelly. You're so cute.
I'm not getting on this. I was just saying hi. Come on, Dixie.
I'm not saying anything bad. You can read the one.
No,
and
I'm
watch
not
the whole
saying
thing.
you're saying anything
Like, I'm
bad,
not
but
on here
you don't need to
ranting,
go
I'm
into
just talking.
details about certain things. That's
Yeah, I don't know. Medications aren't necessary. It's just more like her calm demeanor and her like passiveness when all of this craziness was going on. I was immediately like, how can she disassociate like that? Is that how she gets? Where she's just like.
Yeah, and didn't I just tell you, Mom? This morning I texted her. I was like, can I see the kid? She's like, once you get out of the house. I talked to the landlord, and he said how basically he'll take us to court. She's blowing my phone up now. She's like, Caelen, we need to get together, set all our differences aside, and we need to meet up to
YouTube channel. They're like, who is this girl? I'm like, I cover Unexpected on my YouTube channel.
But yeah.
I'm sorry.
I took it off yesterday. I just put it up, but
Come on, you guys.
it was freezing up here last night. But anyway, just contact me behind the scenes, because I don't want to get into it. She seems like she's getting upset about it, I guess, but
no, I will.
I don't want to make anything worse.
But I'll send you a DM on here. You'll just need to check your other folder.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. I appreciate it. Nice talking to you.
Bye, Caelen.
Bye.